Good evening, everyone. I'm Devrina Bhattacharjee. On the behalf of the entire Department of Media Studies, I welcome you all to the second workshop of Media Meet, Digital Marketing for E-Business. Media Meet is an initiative by the Department of Media Studies at Christ University that started in 2010. Our academic collaborators include Griffith University, Queensland, Australia, and Florida State University College of Communication and Information. This year's theme is media literacy. Today's workshop will be hosted by Faisal Z. Anwar, who is an expert in online marketing for e-businesses. Presently, he is the co-founder of the e-commerce marketing agency BrandSlane. Along with his enthusiastic team, Faisal has helped many stores and brands to boost their sales with their strategies. This including scaling one of their Canadian fast-moving consumer goods e-commerce stores to a 66% growth. Apart from this, he loves online platforms like LinkedIn to grow his personal brand and enjoys creating videos to express himself. Thank you, Faisal, for accepting our invitation and taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. On to you now.
Hi, thank you firstly for the great introduction, and thank you for having me here. It is an honor and a privilege to be, hosting this session of the event. I have an entire presentation designed just for you guys to give you an idea about what you should be doing, and if you have a business, if you want to start a business, what the roadmap or the pathway should be. That is going to be the gist of it. So, as the topic has been decided, we are going to be talking about digital marketing for e-businesses and how it is supposed to happen now post-COVID in 2020. A lot has changed, and the one thing which is still intact is the core principles of marketing. So, if your fundamentals about marketing are clear, then irrespective of the medium you are going to scale. So, here's a very broad summary of what you're going to learn, what you can expect out of this session. First of all, we are going to talk about how startups and SMBs generate massive revenues online. We are not going to go deep into big companies like Swiggy, Zomato, Google, Facebook. We are not going to go there. They have multiple channels. To start your business today itself, if you start a Shopify store for selling shoes today itself, how should you go forward with it? That is what we are going to be discussing in the session today. The second part of the session is going to be more about paid advertising and what is one of the best ways to start off paid advertising, which I personally am an expert in Facebook ads. And third is how to acquire clients if you do not have the capital to invest in your own online retail store, how to get clients to generate cash flow for your own agency. Like for me, I have an agency. I do not have my own e-commerce store. I have an agency, and as an agency, help other e-commerce stores scale. So it's one and the same thing. So what you can expect out of this session, two things. First of all, I want you to know the basic roadmap of starting an e-commerce business from scratch. How to start off and not only an e-commerce business, any kind of online business, an online store, an online coaching program, an agency if you want to. And the second one would be how you can apply those learnings to get results. That's what's going to be. And my expectation out of you guys is that when the things get a little bit technical, because they will, just pay a little bit of attention. I'll be as slow and as patient as possible. And keep noting out the stuff. So that is what my expectation is. And let's move forward with it. So firstly, how does an SMB generate massive revenues online? So if you finish up with college and you want to just start off your own startup, if you want to start up your own business, if you get a loan and you are like that, I want to just start making money online, how do you do that? So this is the general roadmap or how you should start up your thinking. So first of all, you need to know your customer, and that is true. And these points are actually true for all kind of marketing, but we are going to stay in the context of online. So first of all, know your customer and where they hang out. So for the sake of examples, I'm going to assume that you want to start an online t-shirt store. Fair enough, right? You want to start an e-commerce store and you want to sell t-shirts with printed t-shirts with, you can say, Marvel, MCU movies, right? That is what you want to sell. That's the kind of design. movie, cartoon, that kind of design you want to sell. So first of all, know your customers and where they hang out. Secondly, advertise your product or your service on those platforms and keep the intent of the customer being on that platform. We are going to go a little bit deeper in the later part, but yeah, these are important points. So let's go into the first point. These days, where does the ideal customer usually hang out? It is platforms like Facebook, Instagram. If they're looking for something, if they're searching for a product, if they're searching for a services, they go to Google, they go to Pinterest, they're on Snapchat, they used to be on TikTok in India, and LinkedIn if they're a professional service. So how, first of all, know the purpose of the people hanging out on each platform. As I said in the previous slide here, the intent. Why is the person there on Instagram? Is the person there to, buy your t-shirt? Or is the person there to look at attractive pictures and have fun? When you talk about LinkedIn, is the person there to, buy your service? Or is the person there to network with his or her, professional connections? You need to keep the purpose of the audience being on a platform. You need to be sure. If you are selling a product on TikTok, it cannot be boring. If you are selling a product on Instagram, it needs to be colorful. So you need to make sure that your product or your creative basically is contextual to the platform. This is a major learning that you can get from it. So as going forward with the example of selling an online, t-shirt store. Facebook and Instagram, you can be fun and colorful. You can use fun and colorful images, GIFs, these colorful pictures of your t-shirt, of showing, good-looking people wearing it, models and all. That could be what you can do on Instagram. On Google, you can bid for certain keywords and keep the language you use very functional. Price, functionality, what is the good thing about your t-shirt? That's it. That's all the person cares about on Google. You must know the price and what designs you have. So just show the product picture. Be as simple as possible on Google. TikTok and Snapchat, show a video of teenagers or good-looking models, dancing and having fun and using filters and those dog filters and things, wearing your t-shirt. Point made. On LinkedIn, you might not, sell directly on LinkedIn, so you can target HRs and, inside bulk purchases, that kind of a deal. It can be a B2B thing. So we are going to go deep in this department, Facebook ads. And when I say Facebook, I mean majorly three platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, because these three platforms are owned by the company named Facebook. Facebook is like the most populated country in the world. It has over 2.2 billion people, all across the world, and it is giants like WhatsApp and Instagram. So you can say it has all of our data because all of us are using these platforms one way or another. And the two major reasons to use these platforms: massive amount of data, and because if you are on a platform and you like the picture of a car, and if you start seeing more pictures of cars, Facebook's algorithm understands that you are a person who likes cars. So that is what your profile is. And you like multiple things in a day. So each and every one of us has a certain data profile, right? And that is what helps advertisers like me and many of my peers target better. So with the massive amount of data Facebook has, targeting is damn easy. And the second reason is creative reliance. When you run a Google ad, you have a limitation. You have to bid for keywords. You cannot show that much creative. It depends a lot on other factors. But when it comes to Facebook and Instagram, the image and the video that you see on an ad, that has to be a winning creative. I'm going to show you guys how to actually start off a Facebook ad from scratch. So yeah, that you are going to learn here. And these are the two major reasons that Facebook is the best platform for impulse buying. Kind of an important point, because on Facebook, you do not have an intention to buy. You have to make the product look good so that the person just buys impulsively. On Google, the person has an intention of buying. On Facebook, you have to, generate impulse. So these two, the targeting needs to be good. That's where the data parts come in, and the creative needs to be bang on. I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of metrics which you need to keep in mind when you are running Facebook ads. First is reach. It basically means how many people your ad reaches. If you can see here, this part. So I just put all those numbers right here. So just if you want to note it down, if you want to research it later, these are the most important metrics that I call. I usually call them, metrics of relevance. These are the important things that you need to always look at. So reach, number of people you are totally reaching out to. Impressions, number of times you have reached people. So if you are seeing my ad, if you are seeing my ad once, my reach and impression is one. If you are seeing my ad twice, my reach is still one because you are still just a single person, but my impression is twice. So basically, it's a two frequency ad. So almost everybody has seen the ad twice. The click-through rate, how many people click on the ad? About 2.88 people, a percent people have clicked on the ad, and for every click, I have to spend 4.94, almost 5 rupees, which is a little bit high. And CPM is the cost of reaching out to 1,000 people, which is like 142, which is pretty good. And this is in the last 40 days, 7,204 people landed on our website by spending 56,000 rupees. So this is just a normal fraction number of cost that was involved in getting people on the website, the cost involved in getting people to add to cart, the cost involved to get them to check out. So as you can see, every part of the sales funnel, from getting the person to click on the ad to getting them to purchase, has a cost involved. So I have to spend almost $1,000 to get a person to buy a product which has an average order value of 7,000 rupees. These are apparel. This is an apparel store which has an average order value, which is like the basic pricing of the product. The retail pricing is somewhere around 7,000 rupees. So this is the kind of expenditure that goes in. So every stage there is a cost involved. To get them to the next stage, a higher cost is involved. So getting them to add the product to cart, 126 rupees I have to spend. To get them to check out the checkout page, I had to spend a little bit more. And to get them to purchase, slightly bit more. So in the end of the day, this was the spend, this was the conversion value, and this was the return on advertising spend, which is the ROAS. And this is all that you need to know about. Now we are going to talk a little bit about Facebook ads. These are screenshots, but this is how you started off. So please note this down. These are very important points, things to do before setting off an ad. First of all, go to Google and just write www.facebook/business, or yeah, that's what you have to write. Facebook business, you can write. And then you need to create an ad account. Do not run an ad from your personal account. That is not a good practice. That is not a recommended practice. If you're a startup or a business, you need to have an ad account. There, if you have a GST, you can register. If you don't, it's okay. I don't think it's mandatory at the time being. And then you just have to set up your ad account. You have to put in the name, the currency, the time zone you are in. Simple stuff. That is number one. The ad account is inside a business manager. If you are writing these keywords down, you can very easily Google them after the session ends. But business manager is like a briefcase which has multiple ad accounts. So suppose Abhishek has 3 businesses. One is a t-shirt, one is a shoe, one is another one. So all of that is going to come under his personal business manager, which is named Abhishek Private Limited, and there are going to be 3 ad accounts, 3 separate businesses, right? So have an ad account firstly, and every ad account has a pixel. And this is where a lot of people screw up. Pixel is a very small and short line of code. It is like 3 to 4 lines of code. All you have to do is go to your ad account, go to this place called Events Manager, and copy this pixel and paste it at the back end of your website. If you have a Shopify website or a Wix website, log in, back end, paste the pixel. So what is the use of this pixel thing? If you have been on Instagram and Facebook, you must be knowing that if you look at an ad, if you go on a website, the minute you are back on Instagram or Facebook, you start seeing the same brand's ads everywhere, right? That is because Pixel is a tracking mechanism. It is a code which tracks your cookies everywhere on Facebook and Instagram. And this is a more than just a code. Sometimes if you share pictures of clothes with your friends on Instagram in the form of DMs, that also is tracked. Your interaction with content is also tracked. If you do the same on WhatsApp, that too is tracked, right? If you're sending pictures of puppies to your friend on WhatsApp, normal behavioral thing, your phone has all those data points already opened up, so you are tracked everywhere. And as a marketer, it is very important to track these numbers I have. It is because of pixel. I know at which stage my customer is and how much I have to spend. So if I do not have a pixel, all I could see would be the reach, impression, and click-through rate, and a couple of others. Till here, I would be able to see the other things. I won't be able to calculate that because I don't know how many people are landing on my website because I have no pixel. So these are the two major things you have to have. So this is the top, the first level. There are 3 levels in a Facebook ad. This is the top level, the campaign level. There are multiple objectives that you can have. So so this is where it gets a little bit tricky. It depends on your objective. Suppose you are a blog. Suppose you start up a blog and you want people to just read. You run a traffic ad. If you are in a Shopify store and you want people to buy, you run a conversion ad. The kind of people who are going to see a traffic ad are the people who see traffic ads are those who are more inclined of reading blogs, who are not the kind of people who purchase online. People like me, I don't purchase online much, but the people who are very, quick with their purchases, who have had, who order from Swiggy every single day, who are very quick with their, typing, who are very quick with their online sales, they are the ones that conversion ads target. So this is a behavioral thing. Engagement, if you want more likes and followers, run an engagement ad. If you have a store and you want, offline footfall, you run store traffic. If you want maximum number of people to see you, maximum number of people to just see you, you go for reach. So it depends on what objective you have. So we are selling, in this assumption, we are selling a t-shirt online on a Shopify store. We go with conversions, okay? And if we have an online catalog, we can use this as well. But for the example's sake, I'm going to use conversions. That is what I always usually use. So that was the campaign level. The second level is the ad set level. As you can see here, it's the ad set level. So this is where all the magic happens. This is the main, the main hub where the good things happen. So first of all, this is you have to optimize. You have to select the event of purchase here. Purchase is the event you want to optimize your pixel for. You optimize your customers towards. So basically, by putting purchase here, the ad is going to be targeting people who are more likely to buy, who are more likely to show the buying behavior. So as you can see, I have already selected an audience, but as you can see, this is the total number of people at the time it was showing. The ad set level, the second level, right? So scroll a little bit down. You are going to go to the audience section. This is the fun part. Before the audience, yeah. So first of all, in the audience section, what are the locations I want to sell in? So I wanted to sell in Delhi NCR. So I selected Delhi as the city, Gurugram, which is Gurgaon, and Noida, the 3 major hubs there. And since I want to sell to you guys as well, I selected Bangalore as the city as well. So these are the 4 cities that I want to sell in. I want to sell my t-shirts to people ranging from 21 to 45. These are all male t-shirts, so I am targeting only men. You can see very, very easy selection. I am reaching 3 million people all across India right now. My reach, every day I am going to be reaching somewhere around 3,200 to 9,200. So an average of 6,000 people I will be reaching, and I will see at a minimum of 10 conversions at least. So I'm going to see a minimum of 10 sales. This is just the statistics. It's never real. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes you get 20. So this is just arbitrary. I don't know why they have. Yeah. And then you scroll a little bit down. There is a section called targeting section, the targeting option. All you have to do there is you have to select the kind of interest you want to target. So in the assumption here, we are targeting t-shirts. So just scroll down and select the kind of interest you want to target. When you put in the interest of what kind of interest you want to target. So suppose I assume my t-shirt to have a picture of Iron Man on it or the word Marvel Comics written on it. So I'm just gonna go to the targeting section. Its name is detailed targeting. I'm just gonna write Marvel Comics, Iron Man, t-shirts. These are the kind of interests I want to rank for. These are the kind of interests I want to target, right? People who have interest in that product category. If I was selling a sports product, a cricket product, a cricket jersey or something, I'm going to target something like Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli or Team India, Indian cricket, or just cricket. as an interest, right? That is the kind of thing that Facebook allows you to do. It allows you to target interest. And I've already told you with the data available to Facebook, it already knows what kind of stuff you like. If you like, cricket, if you keep liking posts of Virat Kohli, if you keep commenting on, Team India's victory and all that, if you keep sharing those things, Facebook already knows what kind of stuff you like. So the ad is going to show it to you. So it depends on the kind of targeting you. It's the most important. Then you just have to go down. You have to select the kind of placements you want, automatic or manual. Here you can select the platforms you want to show your ad on, and then the budget. So this is like 5,000 rupees per day I'm willing to spend, and this is the kind of people, this is the kind of reach I'll be getting. And then you continue to the next side. You go to the ad level, which is the final level where you just have to put in the Facebook page. This is the Brands Lane page, my own page. You put it there, you put it a single image or video. It depends on what kind of creative you have. You need to hire a graphic designer, or you can make it on Canva yourself. Just put in scroll downwards, put in the kind of text you want to show. Like I show enjoy the end game of the year with our amazing collection. With the description, I write COD plus free shipping available. I put in the headline, a must for Iron Man fans, because that's the kind of headline that is going to get me good clicks. And I put in that image. This is the image I put in of the t-shirt. And I put in the URL, the landing page that I want to direct the traffic to. And boom, this is the final ad, which was at 4:30 a.m. yesterday. Sorry, today. Yeah. So yeah, this is the final ad. This is how it looks. This is how it looks on your feed as well, I believe. This is the sponsored thing, which means it is an ad. This is the ad copy. This is the headline. Done for you. This is how, and I think it took less than like 10 minutes to explain to you how to actually set up a Facebook ad, right? So this is what it ends up looking like. It takes a good amount of capital. It requires a good amount of cash flow to actually run a successful online store. So that is, if you can do it, great. If you can't, then start up a service. Start up a service-based agency, which requires literally zero capital. Like I have not, in the last year, now I have, but in the last 1 year, I have not put in a single dollar in my agency, be it for hiring, be it for client acquisition. I just acquired them myself organically. So we are going to talk about organic customer acquisition. We are not going to go on paid now. So if you sitting in your dorm room want to start getting clients to work for, to build a portfolio and have case studies, this is how you're going to do it. So first question, again, these are your customers. You ask yourself, how do you find them? Who are these people? Who are these people you want to serve? And where do they hang out, right? How can you, first of all, you need to find them, to generate an income stream. So have that in your mind. But where do these people hang out who are willing to pay for your services? Not just in India, but abroad as well. So first of all, look for a pool of customers. And this holds true for any kind of offline marketing as well. Even when you go in networking events or when you go to a party when there is a sponsored, a product stall, why are they there? Because their pool of customers is there. A person, Coca-Cola puts their vending machines in retail stores because they know the customer comes there to purchase food. They might end up purchasing a Coke as well. So know where your pool of customers hangs out. So for you, a customer is somebody with an online business. You can find them on niche specific Facebook groups. There are not many business related Facebook groups in India, in the US. Then you can go for LinkedIn, which is the hub for B2B marketeers. Facebook groups is also very powerful, and so is LinkedIn. Instagram, for a B2C, it is very powerful. So if you have a course and if you are like living the dream and you are, having vacations in the Bahamas and showing your lifestyle and have a course about how to scale your business, Instagram is the best place to be, just, And Reddit is where all the experts hang out. So there you can get the right people as well. Quora and Twitter are also good platforms, but I primarily focus on these two, Facebook groups and LinkedIn. So number one rule is you have all of this knowledge, but how to get customers? It is same, you have to get traction. So you have to provide values to your like valuable content to your connections, be it in a Facebook groups or in LinkedIn. And that is an inbound lead generating system. So there are two kinds of lead gen systems. One is inbound, people come to you yourself. So when you go out to buy a biscuit, the first thing you think of is a Parle G, let me buy a Parle G. Or if you go out to buy a noodle, the first thing you think of is I'm going to buy a Maggi. That's an inbound lead generation system they have already set up because of years of word of mouth and clever advertising. When you are reaching out to people, that is an outbound lead generating system. When you are cold calling people, that is outbound. So right now, you are not cold calling, you are not DMing people, you are not asking them, hey, this is my service, buy from me. You are just providing valuable content on these couple of platforms that people are attracted towards you. People know that this person knows how to set up a Facebook ad successfully. This person knows how to scale my campaigns. This person might know how to sell my inventory, right? And then they are going to start approaching you themselves. How to do it? Two of my posts. This was in a Facebook group. This is an Indian Facebook group. It has somewhere around 66 comments. I just gave out a couple of case studies how we helped the business that you saw in the initial the numbers of which how we helped them scale their revenue by these numbers. We helped their orders go up by 257% and their revenue by 148. How we helped them get through COVID. This was a small case study. After this, I had a screenshot as well. I did not. There was no space here. This is the kind of free value I'm giving. I am not holding back anything. I'm putting it all out for people to read, engage, appreciate, and then reach out to me in case they want my help. I'm telling them I have done this and I can do it for you. Simple as that. This is another one. This I did on LinkedIn. I just talked about the same funnel that you saw, the same numbers that you saw initially. I took a couple of numbers from there and talked about what funnel looks like 5,000, 7,000 plus people, 70,000 plus people approaching the ad and 57 converting. I just talked about it, and a gentleman from Ahmedabad just reached out to me in 10 minutes from then that, hey, how are you doing it? He's selling undergarments and really, really beautiful creatives. He's really good at his sales funnel. So he needed a little bit advice from me. So that is how you start generating traction. So if you are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, if you see my profile, if you want to learn, if you want to communicate with me, you can send me a DM on LinkedIn, Faisal Z Anwar. I am the only one with that name there. So yeah, so what this helps you is, it helps you set yourself apart and have a personal brand for your business. So right now, my intention with all my pieces of content is that the word Facebook advertising and online advertising for e-commerce businesses resonate with Faisal Z Anwar. That is my intention. Learn the art of copywriting. Copywriting is the art of selling through words. So these words that I wrote in these ads, this is copywriting. You need to test it out as well, but this is copywriting. I need to know, go in the mind of the customer, that what does this person care? If I'm selling an Iron Man t-shirt, targeting people who like Iron Man, what are the words that they like? And that only comes through research. So learn the art of copywriting, art of selling through words. That would be my final advice. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Faisal. Today's workshop was a wonderful learning experience for all of us. Personally, I think that something you said that I found really interesting was that creation needs to be contextual. I believe that that's something that we all need to keep in mind with regards to which platform we are choosing. And you gave us a clear cut understanding of how online marketing works. And it is always better to show than tell. And I think you did exactly that. So the presentation was really interesting, very impactful. And to all the participants, thank you all for participating and being such an amazing, such an interactive audience. Thank you and have a great day.